In 5.6, we're going to talk about ratios and rates. So for ratios, there's a bunch of ways that you can write them. You can say A over B, or basically that means A is to B, or A to B, or A colon B. And all these mean the same thing. It's just A is to B. It's a comparison. So if you have something like 50 to 90, and they want you to do that as a fraction, you need to put 50 over 90 is all. But then you do need to simplify it, and you can divide both of these by 10 and get 5 over 9. Okay, so you'll have some like that are just numbers like that. You could also have something like 40 feet in 15 seconds. And there, you're just going to put 40 feet over 15 seconds. But here again, you can simplify. Divide both of these by 5 and get 8 feet over 3 seconds. Okay, then next you'll have some like 0.01 centimeters to 0.1 centimeters. And here you'll do the same thing, 0.01 over 0.1, but we don't want any decimals. So what we have to do is move all the decimals over so that we don't have any digits past the decimal. So here we have to move it over 2 spaces. So since we moved it over 2 here, we also have to move it 2 here. So it's 1, 2. So we'll have to put a 0 there. And this now will become 1 over 10. So that, I think, is probably the hardest one here, is that once you do your fraction, you have to make sure there are no decimals by moving the decimal over so that there aren't any. Next, we say that someone works for 40 hours and earns $310. So what is the hourly rate? So here, we're just going to say $310 per 40 hours. And when we divide this out now, we're going to say 40 into 310. 40 will go into 310 7 times. That's going to be 280 with a 30 remainder. So we have to put a dot 0 and then our point 0 here. 40 into 300 will go 7 times, and 280 with 20 remainder. So we'll need to add another 0. And 40 will go into 200 5 times, and 5 times 40 is 200. So the rate here, the hourly rate, is $7.75. Next, you're going to have questions like you get 8 pounds of whatever food for $4.09. So how much is it per pound? You do the same thing, 4.09 over 8. And when we divide that, we're going to get 0.511. But we do need to round to the nearest cent. And the nearest cent is 2 digits past the decimal. So it's 0.51 per pound. It's 51 cents, but you're going to need to put 0.51. Next, it's going to ask you of what is better. So which is better, a better deal if you pay $3.19 for 4 pints of something, or $4.79 for 6 pints. And so we're going to do that same ratio. 4 into 319 and 6 into 479, and whichever one is smaller is the better deal. So, and this one, it actually goes beyond the cent. It's for this particular question. So 4 into 319, and I know I'm going to need to put 2 zeros. So 4 into 31 is 7, 28, 3, 9. So 9, 36, 3, 0, 7, 28, 2, 0, 5, 20, 0. So for the $3.19 for 4 pints, it's 0.7975 is what it costs. For the other, 6 into 4.79, I'm also going to need to put 2 zeros. So it's going to be 7, 42, 5, 9, 9, 54, 5, 0, and then 8, 48, 2, 0, 3. So here, this is 0.7975, this is 0.79, and then an 8. So this one, the 319 for 4 pints in this situation is better. Like you see, you have to go more than to the nearest cent on these. They're very close, but the ones that you get are going to be more like this. So next, another example that you might have is 35 meters for 98 minutes. And it's just going to be 35 over 48. And we can divide, 98. 35 over 98. Both of these are divisible by 7. So we get 5 over 14. And the last type of thing is your burn 4.5 calories in 6 hours, which really isn't very much. So we do, again, 4.5 over 6. And now, again, we don't want decimals. So this one, we have to move over 1. And this one also, then, we have to move over 1. So this becomes 45 over 60. And we can divide both of these by 15 and get 3 over 4. So here, again, we don't want decimals at all in our fractions. So you have to get rid of the decimals, and then you also have to reduce them all. So that's what's in 5.6.